just landed in Bali and we got to Swiss Bell, and it has been a journey. It has been a journey, and I'll do a story time later, but I wanted to show you what the staff prepared for us. I don't know why I'm getting emotional. I think it's because it's been a long 2 days. Anyway, they wrote this little thing on the mirror, but apparently I'm Mr. Razel and Che is Mrs. Che. But it's the thought that counts. And then over here we have a happy wedding on the bed, and I don't even want to lie down on the bed and ruin it. But yeah, so this is the room. Let me do a quick room tour from the beginning. This is the bathroom. Ah, there's no bathtub. And this is the room itself. It's a deluxe room with a king-size bed, and then we also have a fridge, some tea, coffee, and also the balcony with the view. Unfortunately, it is raining at the moment. How do I get out? Ah! I'm stuck! And this is the view. Yeah, so it's cloudy at the moment. It was raining really heavily earlier when we landed. And you can see the swimming pool here. One of them is under maintenance. I still have 1, 2, 3 pools here. I thought that one was also a pool, but clearly not. But this is the view and our room for the next 2 nights. And so the plan is to shower, and then we're gonna go for a spa later to one of the spas that we went to last time and we really enjoyed. So that's what we're gonna do, and then we're just gonna order room service for dinner. Just have a chill one, because honestly it's been too much. It's just more on that later. Time to order some room service. Oh, I am so hungry. Okay. Well, they didn't pick up. Let's try again. Hi, good evening. I'd like to make an order for some food, please. So can we get the grilled beef ribs? Yeah, and then the pork fried beef. Yeah, and then can I make sure that they don't have nuts, because I have allergy? No nuts. Yeah, no nuts. Yeah. And then 1 liter. Yeah, and 1 liter, please. Please. Yeah. Your card. Okay. Okay, thank you. Bye. This is yours.
Why are you laughing at me? Because I look small? Huh?
Our first proper meal.
You had like 4 meals.
No, our first proper meal that's not plain airplane food. Oh my god.
Condition of the sick kisses.
Wow.
Yeah.
We have clothes, we have pajamas.
Obviously.
Oh, I can see. Literally, since we ate, we have been waiting for the suitcase to arrive. Like, we've been tracking it. Like, good thing we changed the batteries on our luggage tag, air tags, because we were tracking it since they were in Malaysia. Oh my gosh. Okay, time to unpack. Breakfast now, and it's not even 7 a.m. it's 6:56, but Che and I have been up since 3-ish. Well, I woke up at 1 and I tried to go back to sleep, but I couldn't, so I was just scrolling in bed, and then Che woke up around 3 and we decided to go and explore the resort, but obviously it was like 3-4 a.m. so we didn't really see much, and I managed to go back to sleep and woke up again around 6 o'clock and have been waiting to have breakfast. Do a story time while I do my makeup about our journey on getting to Bali. So let's see how this goes, because I can't multitask of doing my makeup and talking, I think. Okay, Che and I were meant to arrive on the 1st of March. We had booked our tickets with Qatar Airways, meaning to fly on the Saturday evening around 8 p.m. and it was around 12 o'clock. I was getting ready to... I was getting ready, and Che was happening to be scrolling on Instagram when he saw that there was conflict happening in the Middle East, and the US military base was bombed in Bahrain, which is really close to Qatar. So we were quite worried that our flight was going to be cancelled, and obviously it's very unfortunate that this thing is happening right now in the Middle East. And so we were just waiting to kind of hear from Qatar and see whether our flight was going to be delayed or if things were going to get better by the evening. And I think we waited around an hour to get an update, and nothing was happening, like no emails, nothing. And eventually on their app it said that all flights were suspended. We're like, okay, it's still quite early, we had maybe an hour or two before we had to leave for the airport, and so we're like, okay, let's just wait. And then we checked back on the Qatar app and it says flights cancelled. Okay, obviously does this mean all flights, like flights happening now? And we still didn't receive an email or anything from Qatar. So Che checked on the Heathrow departure website, on the departure page, and checked for our flight specifically, and yeah, it was cancelled. And so we had to frantically find a new flight. This was kind of around 1 p.m. now, 1 to 2 p.m. and we were trying to get a flight that was going to leave that same evening, because we had already made plans obviously for 1st and 2nd when we arrived, and we didn't want to delay getting to Bali. So we were searching, and initially when Che first checked the flights, they were about £500 for one way with Singapore Airlines. And this was when the news was first breaking out, but we didn't book it because we thought, okay, our flight hasn't been, like, there was no update on our flight yet, so we didn't book it, because obviously if we were still flying then we wouldn't get a refund, and then we already had a flight book, so yeah. And then we checked again and they were like going up to 2k per person one way. Yeah. And then so we had to look for a flight the next morning, and some of them again were almost up to 2k one way, or they had like I don't know, like 10-hour layover. And we were like, oh my god, what are we gonna do? So we managed to get a flight with Malaysian Airlines, and that left on Sunday morning at 10 a.m, which is actually not bad because we were meant to arrive in Bali on Sunday night at midnight, so we would have just been sleeping, and then we arrived yesterday around noon. So really we only wasted a morning, so it wasn't that bad. And the seats that we got ended up being extra legroom, we got more kilos. So all in all, I think it was okay. It was okay that we missed our flight, and it was better that we didn't fly that evening and be stranded in Doha, and we managed to fly with Malaysian Airlines instead. So we got onto our flight the next morning. Everything was fine. I managed to check in my big suitcase plus my hand luggage because I was carrying my dress. And our flight was delayed by 45 minutes leaving London because of technical issues. And our layover in Malaysia was only an hour and 45. So like, okay, maybe they can make it up, because you know how sometimes they can make it up on the way, and then the captain is like, yeah, and then there'll be delays getting into Malaysia. Like, oh my god. And so obviously you can't do anything about it. It was a 12-hour or 12-hour 50 journey to Malaysia, and I think like halfway through the flight I checked what time we were arriving, and it said 8 o'clock. Our flight was at 9 a.m. and boarding was at 8 a.m. And so I, like, towards the end of the flight, I spoke to one of the stewardess saying like, oh, our flight is at 9 and I know we land at 8, are we going to make it? And she said, can't guarantee, but there will be staff waiting when you land to like assist you. I was like, okay. And then actually the couple that was sitting next to me, they were also going to Bali, so they also were like, we have to run to the next flight. I was like, yeah, me too. And so when we landed around, we got off the plane around 8:15, and there were staff that already had the gate number of our flight as soon as we walked into the airport, so we didn't have to look at the information board and figure out where we were going. It was like already there. It's like, okay, C14, and maybe it was about 5-10 minute walk to it, so we were speed walking to the flight, and then we managed to get onto the flight. And then I realized when we got to Bali, we made it onto the flight, but did our bags get onto the flight? Because it was only 45 minutes, and I think we left at like 9:05, so it wasn't that long. We were waiting by the carousel, and technically, because we were kind of like the last ones to board the plane, and we also had priority baggage, we would expect that our bags would be the first ones to come out. And so the bags kept coming out, more and more bags came out, and still nothing. And we kept waiting and waiting, and then it got to the point where the staff were starting to take out the luggages from the conveyor belt and put it like on the side, because I think like too much time has passed, and still nothing. And Che spoke to one of the guys waiting as well, and he was on the same flight with us, London to Kuala Lumpur, and his bag also didn't arrive, so our bags didn't make the flight. We made the flight, but our bags didn't. So at this point I was like, what now? It's just one thing after another. And then so Che went to speak to the Malaysian airline staff at the airport, and luckily they located our bags quite quickly, and yeah, they were still in Malaysia. And the funny thing is, when we checked our air tags when we landed, first it says Kuala Lumpur, and then it said it was in the South China Sea. And we're like, why is it in the sea? I'd rather it be at the airport. But actually it was already on the way. It was on the next flight to Bali, like on the plane. That's why it was in the sea. Oh my god. So anyway, luckily I booked a Klook transfer, so we didn't have to worry about getting a Grab or getting a hotel transfer, and we got our eSIM online, so that was all set up, so we didn't have to worry about that. So we just got to the hotel, showered. We had no clothes, we only had our wedding outfits, showered, wore the same clothes again, and went to get a massage, came home, came back to the hotel, ordered room service, and waited for our bags. And the whole time we were tracking our bags, and they delivered all 3 of our suitcases last night around 9 p.m. So that was the story of us getting to Bali and the unfortunate events of our suitcase. And I know like what's happening in the Middle East is very also unfortunate, but yeah, it was just chaotic to be honest. And I do not wish this on anyone who is planning on having a destination wedding. And also, don't check your gown into your check-in baggage, because especially if you have a connecting flight, because you never know what will happen. I'm so glad I took mine with me onto the plane and not check it in, because I would have been stressing way more. So that is the end of our story of getting here. And the wedding is in 4 days. Clearly I couldn't multitask because I only managed to put on my concealer and my tinted moisturizer. So I'm gonna finish doing my makeup now. Good morning, it is now Thursday and we have now moved to Renaissance Hotel. We checked out yesterday in the morning, and then we went to pick up my family from the airport and had a meeting with our wedding planner in the afternoon. Then came here and had dinner at Seafood. I don't know if you can tell from my voice, but I have a bit of a cold. So I went to the pharmacy this morning to get some medication, and I think we should be fine by Saturday. I think I am just going to take it easy today because tomorrow we have a busy day and I just need to get a lot of rest. So we're gonna head down for breakfast, and afterwards I'm going to Pilates with my friend Georgia. And this is my outfit. I'm wearing some shorts and I have a top, a Honor Active bra underneath. Quite excited for Pilates. It's in the tree top area, tree views. Basically it looks pretty and it has views, and yeah, so let's go and have some breakfast. at this really pretty, I think it's a resort. Yeah, it's called Grand Resort, I think. But our instructor was really nice. Oh, yeah, I thought it wasn't recording. Our instructor was really nice, and it was a full class today. And yeah, my legs are a bit shaky. And so now I think you're gonna get your nails done.
Yeah.
And then I'm just gonna go back to the hotel and just rest because I didn't get much sleep last night. And yeah, it was a good Pilates session.